Okay, I'm back with Jackie today because last week we were talking to her and she mentioned that she tried Facebook ads, but they were a little bit tricky and she's thinking about trying them again. So I wanted to talk to her real quick, give her a little Facebook ad advice. And I know we have listeners that can benefit from this conversation. So I pressed record so that you can listen in on my conversation with Jackie about ads, and hopefully it can help you too if you are considering trying Facebook ads for your business, or if you tried them and they haven't been the home run that you're looking for. Hopefully, something in this conversation will spark for you what you need to tweak in your ads so that you can improve them. And I just want to share with Jackie and with listeners that I built my whole kindergarten ready business primarily using Facebook ads. I started that business when I had a 3 month old and an almost 3 year old. And I didn't have time to be creating organic content or posting on social. And so I used Facebook ads as really, and when I say Facebook ads, I mean Facebook and Instagram for listeners who don't know that. They are the same, one and the same. But I use that as the shortcut to find people and bring them into my business. And I did that without doing much else in finding people. So I feel, and at this point, gosh, that was 2020. So I'm 4.5 years into running ads basically every day. I feel strong on this topic. So I want to talk to Jackie about her ads, and I also want to do that in a way that gives listeners some ad advice as well. So, Jackie mentioned this on her interview, but she is running Facebook ads to her free resource, which over here we call a freebie. And from that, when people sign up for the free resource, they are redirected to her Tripwire offer, which is just a fancy way to say a one-time offer for a low-priced product. And so let's start there, Jackie. When you have the image to your ad and the copy that goes with it. Is it all centered on just the free resource?
Well, I'm not doing I stopped doing that a few months ago because it wasn't work, it wasn't cost
Hmm.
effective. So but when I was running it,
Hmm.
um it went to I went through lead pages.
Yes.
I use lead pages, yeah.
Mhm.
And that was recommended to me. Yeah.
Yes,
Um,
I love lead pages. Teacherbiz.com/lead pages will get anyone over there. I use them for all the things. I think they're great.
Now, when I start using Facebook ads again, I will go back into doing that. Now, I mentioned Megan last week from Wicked Easy Tech. She's pretty sure that some of the links weren't working anyway.
Mm,
So I think it was down to me just trusting people that were doing the Facebook ads for me. So I wasn't doing that
mm,
myself. I said last week that it nearly broke me doing the Facebook ads
yeah.
with the tech. So I I don't think the technology was working right. So maybe it's worth giving it another go.
Hmm.
Can I ask Heather how much you spent when you first started? Because maybe I was too low. I was doing £10 a day.
Yeah, I think rule of thumb that I learned from my Facebook ads teacher is Beth Anne Schwamberger. I think I met Megan maybe through Beth Ann's community, so I think she learned ads from her as well. Um, but she's on episode 18 of the Teacher Biz podcast if anyone wants to hear her over there. And also if you want Beth Ann's free resource while I'm mentioning it, it's teacherbiz.com/ads. Um, but she taught me that the price of your product per day is what you should be spending. So your daily budget should be equivalent to whatever your Tripwire product price is. That way you find enough people because sometimes a low budget could be the problem. I don't think it's the first problem for people to go to. And I also want listeners to hear you don't need a huge budget. Like if I start a campaign now, I'm usually starting it at $100 per day because I want to know right away if it's going to work or not, what I need to fix. You don't have to spend $100 per day on ads. You could spend $10 per day. And I can't convert that, but I'm sure that you can. But
I think
$10
about
per day on
£13.
ads, and you can see if they're working or not. You just have to wait a little bit longer. So if your budget's low, you need more time to get more people in. I wouldn't make any decision until you have at least 100 people through your freebie page. That means 100 email signups. And even then, your data is not going to be as strong until you get multiple hundreds of people through there. So the thing I like that you're doing though, Jackie, is that you're running your ad to your free resource with your tripwire behind it because it's never a complete loss when you do it that way. At least you're getting the subscribers if they don't purchase. Um, and one question I asked Jackie before I hit record, and then I said I have to record this, is what your ads were optimized for, because she had shared with me that she had how many subscribers did you have, Jackie?
So it was about 950 by the end from zero. It was nearly 1,000 by the end, and I got that in a few months.
Mm.
And they all had the freebie, but very few. I mean, really, very few
And
were
about how many sales did you think you had made from that?
about 16, I think.
Okay. So
Yeah.
my first question hearing those numbers is what were your ads optimized for? Because to me, that screams that you're optimizing for email subscribers instead of sales. And we always want to be optimized for sales, even if we're looking to grow our list, because Facebook knows. Facebook, I mean, to a creepy degree, but it's good for us as business owners. Facebook knows so much about each person that's using their platform. They know who the freebie seekers are. They know who the people who pull out their credit card and buy things are. And they will find you the people that you're optimizing for if you let them. So choosing what your ads are optimized for is the best first step in finding people who actually purchase things. But you
Uh,
had said that you are optimized for sales, right,
well,
Jackie?
I think so, but again, this is going back to the tech thing.
Yes.
And somebody else was doing this for me because
Hmm.
I was finding it too difficult. I mean, I stupidly thought at first, I would just literally say, I want to place an ad, and they would take my ad, and it would be as simple as that. And
Hmm.
it really isn't.
It's
So I
not.
needed help with that. And I think the person I went to perhaps oversold themselves to me, and I
Mm.
perhaps they didn't actually know what they were doing
Yes.
properly. Yeah.
So that's important to know. I have not had the best luck in outsourcing my ads as well. I do think it's important to understand how an ad works and all of the pieces of that, which is why I recommend to my community Beth Ann's course. She's from Brilliant Business Moms, and again, teacherbiz.com/ads will get you there. But because Jackie, you struggled with the tech, now that you have Megan to set up your tech and make sure you go through it, and to you and listeners, go through your own funnel, sign up for your own freebie, make sure you're getting redirected to the right place. Put your product in test mode for a minute or pull out your credit card and pay yourself to buy your product. Make sure that all the pieces are working, just so you have that security that you're not spending money on something that doesn't work. I think that's a really important step there as well. But now that we're working, you have Megan on your side. Listeners may have someone else to help them with the tech. They might go through Beth Ann's course to learn the tech. They might come into my world and have Maria supporting them with the tech. But whatever you do, when you're confident enough that your ad is going to bring the right people your way, um, we are wanting a strong image that is just focused on the free resource because this one-time product that we're offering behind that is kind of like a surprise. We don't want them to know about that yet. That's a special thing for signing up. And so we want the image just focused on the free resource. Now, this could be a static image that doesn't move. I've had good luck with those that are just like a big picture of my freebie and the word free underneath. And that's it in my image. And short copy also works well for me with the ads. Lots of emojis, just the way that you would write on social media, where it's very friendly, like you're writing to a friend. And if your bullet point, one of my ads, I have bullet points of what's included in the freebie, and there's a little apple in the beginning because it's on the preschool side. It's something
Yeah.
like that that makes it fun to read. Um, you want to hook people in the beginning of your copy. You want some like confetti emojis or a stop sign emoji or something like that that gets people's attention.
Yeah.
But know that they're going to look at your picture first and then decide if they want to read the word. So the picture is most important. And I mentioned it could be a static image, and I do that a lot, but it could also just be a video. On the teacher biz side of my business, my best performing Facebook ad that I'm sure I've mentioned on the show before is just a reel that I posted organically and it did well. And then I ran it as an ad. And it's just a very casual video of me telling my story. So I used to be a kindergarten teacher, and now I have an online business where I help preschool moms prepare their kids for kindergarten, yada, yada, yada. It doesn't even mention my freebie in this video. I'm just talking about myself. And then it links to my free Teacher Biz starter guide that goes hand in hand. Like if someone was intrigued by my story, maybe they're also a teacher who wants a business. Um, it just goes hand in hand with that so that they they'll want the free thing if they liked the video. So you could do whatever you want with your ads. I would test them though. I would make sure that they work organically before you run them as ads. That's kind of like a money saving tip right there. Post them on your regular page or your regular Instagram and see if people like them. And then you could post a different image or a different video
Oh,
organically.
that's a great idea. Yeah, I
Yes,
like that.
see
Yeah,
what one does the best and then run that as your ad. Put the money behind the thing that works well for free. I've
thank
been
you.
talking a lot. Tell me
Yeah.
what other questions you have about ads.
No, that I mean that's some great advice. And do you do the same on Instagram? Do you just copy it across?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I push
Yeah.
the same ads to both platforms, which you can do very if you've not run a Facebook ad before and you're listening to this, it's the same thing. Like you just set them up the same way, and you can say to go to all platforms on Meta ads, or you could just select a few. If you wanted to do like a specific to Instagram stories ad or something like that, you could make it specifically for that. But I just send things to all the places in one go and just let it be easy.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I get confused. So for example, on Instagram, which I never used, but um a lot more of my mums that come to me are using Instagram, and I'd set it up, or someone else set it up for me with the whole Facebook thing. And I'm very confused with the, I've got my personal, so it's all through Meta, yeah.
Mhm.
My personal page on Instagram. Um, and then Ackerman Home Learning is a business page off that. But I don't seem to be asking the right question because nobody can answer this. I don't understand how people have business pages, but they don't have like a personal page because you can't, as far as I can see, you can't just set up a business page without having the personal page. I'm just a little bit lost in all of that, so I'm just going with it because, but this is down to the tech again of not
Yeah.
understanding how
So
something like,
that's a very common beginner question because Facebook is confusing about that. For every other platform, you just create a business account and that's what you use for your business. That's what you would do on Instagram. You would just create a new Instagram account for your business specifically. But on Facebook, you need to have a profile that is your Facebook profile, which is your personal account.
yeah,
And no one needs to see that for your business because then you create a business page
yeah,
and that is what you use for your business. And when you're running Facebook ads, they go through your business page, not your personal account, which is important because in the setup of your Facebook ads, you need to verify your website and that needs to be connected to your business Facebook page.
yeah,
So just know that if you're creating your Facebook for your business for the first time, you log into Facebook like normal, assuming you have a Facebook account already, and then you create a business page from there that you'll use for your business. And worth noting, if you're starting from scratch and thinking about running ads, sometimes people will see your ad and then click through to your profile to see if you're real or not, or someone they're interested in it or not. And so it's a good idea to have a few posts on your business page and your business Instagram that will be connected to that page before you start to run ads so that they don't come over and see a blank profile and then think you might be sketchy.
okay. And is that the same on Instagram? It's the Instagram bit that confuses me because Instagram, I've got a personal page and a business page, but
Mhm.
some people just have business pages, and I don't understand how they've done that.
Well, you don't need to have a personal Instagram to have a business Instagram. You can, if you do, that's fine. Um, I, for example, have a different Instagram account for each side of my business. I'm at Kindergarten Readiness on the Kindergarten Ready side and at Teacher Biz on the Teacher Biz side. And you can switch pretty easily between accounts, but you would just create a new account for your business on the Instagram side of things, and then that
Yeah.
gets connected to your Facebook page.
Yeah, I don't see. I think whoever set that up for me a few years ago through, it's all through Meta. The business page is connected to my Jackie Ackerman Instagram, and then there's a business page.
Mm.
I, I don't
So I
know.
would disconnect those and then connect it again to the right one. And um, people listening, if you have to do that, I would YouTube it. And you, Jackie, because you have Megan, I would ask her to help you with that.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Okay, so that shows you the tech thing. It's sometimes can be just a simple thing, and you just need to make sure that you're getting valid advice.
I have two more questions before we stop talking about ads. One is what you were doing for audiences, um, because I think that would be a big part of your strategy here. Do you remember what you were doing for
Yeah, I
audiences?
started off doing um a local like the UK, but because I do a lot of work with the International Baccalaureate, which is very big in the US, and have you heard of the IB?
No,
Okay,
that's okay.
it's a high school diploma. Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, so I decided, and also homeschooling is I could help a lot of people in the US. So we went kind of US as well, but I don't know whether that was maybe too broad and I could should have gone smaller initially.
I think area is fine. I would stick to all English speaking countries, I think would be great for you to include. But when it
Yeah,
comes to interests that you can choose,
yeah,
I would, for you, choose a homeschooling interest. There's an interest called homeschooling, and I think that would be really helpful for to help you find the right people there. Some people don't have a business that's so specific, and so they can just do an Advantage Plus campaign that lets Facebook kind of find the right people for you. For you, Jackie, I would choose that homeschooling interest. And then maybe as well, like parents of high schoolers, if you're just focused on that high school age range. Um, but I think those two combined would be really helpful to find you the right people. Half the battle in our ads is just getting them to the right people that will be interested in them.
yeah, yeah. And I think that's where I was going wrong before, 100%. Yeah.
So you mentioned last week that you want to start a membership. And so I want to talk to you about using that with your ads in your funnel because this has been a thing that's worked really well for me. So I would keep the same setup that you've had, free resource redirected to a tripwire, which is that one-time offer, low price product. And then from there, here's a magic point. You can also redirect once someone purchased that low price product to a one-time offer to join your membership
Yeah.
as an upsell. I have done that. My membership is closed to the public, but when you purchase any product from me, you have a one-time offer to join my Kindergarten Ready Club. And it is so helpful in bringing people in to replace any members that might leave for whatever reason during the year when the club is not open. This having it as a part of my funnel has been really helpful. And I think it could also help you in running ads and increasing your order value because once you find someone who wants to buy from you, let's offer them as many things they can buy in one shot as possible.
Yeah. So that I think that's what I was going to be working with next,
Yes.
getting that going because um I've got my pathway all mapped out. So it's just getting it all set up now. So
Beautiful.
nearly
I'm so
there.
excited to hear how your ads go. Do you have any more ad questions before we hop off this one?
No, I think that's it. Thank you so much for all your help.
You're welcome. And thank you for sharing your questions with our listeners because I know it will help them too. Thanks,
Thank you.
Jackie.
Thank you. Bye.